Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our SC21 HPC in the city, St. Louis Hackathon mentor training. We want to welcome everyone here. Today will actually be, there we go. You will actually have two of us here that will be speaking with you, Mr. Charlie Day from TAC, and I myself, Jimmy Powell from TAC as well. We're going to do a quick icebreaker, but before I do that, I do also want to recognize our organizers, my fellow organizing committee members that are here, Dr. Linda Hayden and Miss Amy Cannon from Omnibond, two of the people that have been with us since the very beginning. So thank you all for joining us, and of course, thank you for being part of my organizing or our organizing team family. So when the hackathons begin, you're going to need to get accustomed to the students. And sometimes things can be a little dry. So the way we do things is we do icebreakers. And so we want to do the same thing here so we can get to know you a little bit. And the way we've done it here is we have actually shown what we call our spirit characters. So in my case, my spirit character is actually Jake the dog from Adventure Time. If you've ever seen Adventure Time, Jake the dog is a animal. He's able to move and shift and change his body the way he needs to in order to suit the situation. He can get big, he can get small, he can make his hands big, he can change into actual physical shape, so he changes as needed. And as well as his personality is hilarious.
And if anybody's ever been in class with Jamie as their teacher, they can tell that, yeah, Jamie does that. He does move and become smaller and become bigger and changes as the situation arises. So
yes, so that's definitely mine. So I would say that, Charlie, what is your spirit animal there? I know what it is, but go for it.
My spirit animal is the not so psychotic Tony Stark. We've all met the other version of him, the neurotic version of him, but no, I'm the side of it that's got the heart. And so yeah, I like to think that I'm creative, that I can think on my toes, and I can think my way out of any situation. And mostly that's been true. So yeah, Tony Stark is my my spirit animal over there. The non-narcissistic Tony Stark.
Excellent. So having said that, what I'm going to do here in my little box of Hollywood squares, I'm going to start on my right. And so because he knows that I have asked this before, and ask you, what is your spirit character, Edgar?
My spirit character is Steven Universe.
Of course.
The Steven Universe cartoon. What I like about him, and I think what we have in common, is that we try to be accommodating, in a sense, be inclusive, and he's just really funny and loving, and I strive to be one of those two things. You can guess which one. Yeah, so Steven Universe. If you don't know what that is, who that is, you can always Google him. He lives with 3 gem aliens that are protecting the world. So yeah.
Awesome. And the next one, I'm going to ask our student mentor, who has been with us for a number of years, Jocelyn. Jocelyn, what's your spirit character?
Good morning, everyone. My spirit character would be, if you guys have watched the new show Demon Slayer, I feel like my character would be Zensu, because even though he gets even though he panics and he gets freaked out, he always ends up winning at the end. So I think that's just something that I relate with him, because no matter what, he always pushes through even though he freaks out, and he's super he panics, and I like it. I don't know, I like it a lot.
Very cool. Good to see you. Let's see here. Let's try John Holly. Who would be your spirit character?
My spirit character is actually a Chinese character, Chinese mythology. It's a Quillen. It's like a dragon, has hooves and antlers, and it usually presages like some momentous change, or say a sage or a new ruler comes. He's always there in the background. And I
Cool.
think I'm always in the background whenever new events happen. So
So
Nice.
kind of
Let's
reminds me of the intro to Jerry Maguire, where you have the agent in the back. Jerry Maguire is always in the background somewhere. Like, that's the sports agent. The guys get everything going. And that actually makes sense for John Holly.
So I'm gonna ask two more people, and let's see what they have to say here. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta pick on Amy. Amy, who is your spirit character? You've been through this a couple times.
You're gonna be so disappointed. I don't have a spirit character.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to like think about this now. I'll bring it to the next meeting, but like thinking about it right now, I cannot.
you're the swan. You're the swan. You live on the lake. You always seem so calm and unruffled on the top, but then underneath you're working furiously. Your legs are just moving.
That's a pretty good description.
what about you, Dr. Hayden?
Hi, everyone. I usually associate with a spider because I love the idea of building webs and connecting people and things and resources like spiders build their little webs. And there really are only 2 or 3 venomous types of spiders. Otherwise, they help you to get rid of your other bugs. So,
Right.
There you go.
Wow.
yeah.
There you go. All right.
So
So
the hell out of me.
Stay away.
No, I mean, they can be outside. That's fine. Let the spiders be outside. But
Yeah.
they get in my house, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Unless if they're in a corner and they're just alone and I can see them every day and they're there, fine. But as soon as they start crawling around and moving around, it's like, no. Go back to your corner.
Oh, don't step on me, Charlie.
But their webs are gorgeous. We have spider webs all over now this time of year. And the light was shining and hit one outside the other day.
Oh,
You guys,
cool.
it is a gift from God. It is so
Yes.
beautiful.
It is.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
they
oh,
are.
cool.
Yeah, I love watching
so-
spiders make webs as well. But
Oh, I had to stare at it for like
outside.
10 minutes.
Another really hard-working animal.
That
Yeah.
web is beautiful until you have to walk through one of them on accident.
yes.
Well, I almost did.
So I think Dr. Hayden won this one. So
Yeah.
as we said, this is mentor training. So you see how that can really open up the group. Now I do want to make sure, although I want to move on, because I know y'all like, I'm looking at the time. I also want to welcome Dr. K back, Miss Mickelson. Thank you for joining us. Keisha, which is one of our returning mentors as well. Thank you all. And William, who is considering we're trying to draw him into our web. Thank you for joining us. And then we have someone on the phone as well. I'm thinking that maybe Dr. Caldwell, possibly. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Actually, I think that might be Virginia.
That's Virginia. Oh, okay. In that case, Virginia, whomever it is on the phone, welcome. We're glad to have you.
Hi, Jamie.
It's good to see you. One of our winners of one of our last hackathons. So we can see how that works. So we're going to go ahead and move forward a little bit here. Let me go back to present and remind myself to hit escape next time. Here we go. So the agenda today is we're going to look at the hackathon objectives and student outcomes. Who are the students? We're going to have some sample project timelines, deliverables and resources, mentoring information, which is essential for you all. And then we're going to have our world famous mentor mini hack, which we have grown to enjoy seeing what you all come up with. I don't think anyone has been, I think maybe 1 or 2 of you all have been here before for this. So you know how this is going to work out. This is going to be hilarious. I always enjoy seeing that. So the objective of HPC in the city is, of course, to bring together the resources, skills, and personalities and knowledge found in the HPC community to address particular problems, in this case, directly related to the St. Louis area. Granted, keep in mind, even though St. Louis does have particular issues that are, of course, localized, there are many issues that address them that are, of course, national or even worldwide issues as well. Generally speaking, our students are post-secondary or graduate students, and they work in a very time-bounded, focused method to address these problems. And they have presentations on the end, which leads to our student outcomes of increased familiarity with data science in the cloud, experiencing collaborative software development, which, believe you me, is an interesting experience. And they also, of course, develop professional communication skills as well as direct professional contacts. So who are our students? Now on your screen, I know that this looks interesting, but I'm going to show you a bit of a different version of this from what the place from which these graphs are derived. Let me go ahead and make that a little bit smaller so it fits on my screen. So currently, and let me go ahead and do an update just to make sure that I have the most recent numbers. Wow, we have had a jump even from yesterday.
Elizabeth City students joined.
Oh,
Several of
excellent.
them. We got 5 from ECSU now.
I see they did. They've jumped up into the top ranking.
Yeah.
So
I
as you-
did go in and highlight, but I did highlight all the duplicates or triplets in red. So I don't know if you want me to delete those, but
wonderful, not a problem. We'll take a look at those. Of course,
have to
every
look
once
at
in a
it.
while there are a few that register a couple times to make sure they're in there. So we will, of course, take care of those. But generally speaking, these numbers we can indeed use. So we have about 45 or 40 plus participants registered, 11 mentors, 5 staff helpers, 2 judges, 2 speakers, and we have a few more that are awaiting and anticipating. We're anticipating them joining. We have about right around 50-50 or 50-40, and then we have our other genders together. So we have a good mix there as far as in gender diversity. You can see the majority of our students are actually senior undergraduate students, but we do have a few graduate students as well. So full range. The vast majority of our students have some type of computer science in their major or minor, but as you can see, their areas are ranged. But the thing you should be aware of are the skills. So these numbers that you see here on the graph actually come from self-reported, what they see as their ability to perform tasks in certain languages. So for instance, in Python, there are quite a few that strongly agree there we go. Quite a few that strongly agree that Python, I'm doing the wrong blue. Whoa. So I looked at it incorrectly. There's only one that strongly agrees that they have abilities in utilizing Python, or they're comfortable using Python. More somewhat agree. Wherein for requests such as JSON and XML, we have quite a few more. And of course, the list varies here based upon what the different skill levels there. So this kind of gives you an idea of the types of skill levels the students will have as they enter the hackathon. So as you're crafting your projects and as you're speaking with them, as you're thinking about additional training and things like that, these are the things you may want to be aware of. Now, having said that, let me go ahead and stop that. And I am now going to hand the slides over to Charlie.
Yay. And let me share my screen. All right, so that's right. There we go. So we should be able to see that all now. Let me open up the chat window. So, okay, so you know where the students are. So essentially, the students are going to pick what project they're going to take. So we got to keep the students' backgrounds in mind when projects get created. So here's what the sample timeline looks like. The students are going to select a project. All right. They, with the help of a mentor, is going to identify milestones, all the major milestones that they want to hit during the project, and even the minor ones, and identify what some logistical issues might be. All right. Then they're going to deliver a project. So the mentors So we want to deliver a project proposal presentation. So one thing the mentors are going to do is we're going to walk through each project, and we're going to essentially present the proposal to the students. All right, then the students are going to select which project they want to participate in, and the mentor is going to help them identify the milestones and what logistical issues might come in. We want the students to be able to understand what these are, and the mentors are essentially going to guide them there. As a mentor, you're going to do regular check-ins with your team. You need to essentially, the team is going to tell you what milestones they've come across, what they've hit, what they've done, what's coming up later, and what other issues have come around so far. Regular check-ins are very important because that's what helps the communication process and kind of build the team. And then they're going to do their final presentation with all the deliverables that they promised, or a status of what the deliverables were and where they got to. They need a GitHub repository that's going to have their code and their data sets. They're going to have to demonstrate their project and do we'd like to see a real life run of the project, but students in the past have done videos of their project running as well. And they're going to present their entire from start to finish, all their slide decks, introduction to all the team members, introduction to the mentors, talk about the project, do their demonstration, all within about 7 minutes. So they have a short amount of time to present a lot of stuff, but that's kind of what the deal is. And then of course, we have some judges, some secret, some some that we actually call out, and they're going to essentially select a winner. All right, we put the winner in quotes because technically going through 90 some odd hours of nothing but coding and getting a project going is kind of a win in and of itself. But yeah, there is a competition, so there is a winner. So what we look at is the project impact. If this project were to be live and real, what kind of impact would it have in the community, in this case in St. Louis? How impactful is that project to the community of St. Louis and the issues St. Louis has? Viability and usefulness. How viable is this thing? So if this thing becomes live and active and in person, somebody picks it up, will it be able to grow? Will it actually be applied? Is the information that is being presented something brand new that's never been seen before? And how useful is it to the community of St. Louis? Can they take the data? Can they grow with it? And then of course, creativity of execution. How creative was the team in coming up with their plan? How creative was the team in developing their app? And of course, that comes with a wow factor as well. Example, I used to teach at a community college, and for the final projects in one of my classes, the students were designing a game, and I brought my kids in with me, and I told them originally, going, every time one of the kids goes, wow, that's awesome, you get a bonus point. So that's kind of the wow factor we're talking about. While we're watching and we go, oh, wow, that's awesome. Yeah, you've won the wow factor. The user experience and polish. So user experience for a long time really had no traction. Nobody really paid much attention to it. You got an application, you're going to be running the application, you got buttons, you got text boxes, you got an interface to put information in, and you get information out. And as long as we got the information out, we're golden. That's not quite the case anymore. The user experience plays a large role in how viable your application is, because the prettier it is, the easier it is to use, the more people are likely going to use it. So the user experience is very, very important. And then of course, how complex was this problem? Was it really something really simple, or were there a lot of moving parts that just had to get working just right to be able to make this project work? Now, mind you, that is kind of a variable definition of the technical complexity. Some projects, one semester or 1 year, I had a team that didn't really have anybody who knew how to program. So their level of technical complexity was a little lower than other teams. So, because they had to learn Python, they had to learn HTML, they had to learn a lot of stuff to be able to get their project going. So yeah, that is kind of a variable scale. Collaboration, how well did the team work together to come up with the project, develop the project, and present the project. All right. All the team members have to present. And then the completeness. Did they finish the project that they set out to do? Did they get something done that is actually useful? So they start out with a list of goals they want to hit, and then they end up with a list of goals that they did hit. How do those two lists compare? Right. By the way, if anybody has any questions, feel free to just interrupt, and I'll be happy to answer those. All right, student deliverable and resources. Kind of mentioned this, source code, including comments. Comments are really important. I'm not very good at commenting my own code, but I teach the fact that everybody should comment their code. We need a PDF of the presentation with team members, pictures of the team members, how they used HPC and advanced computing technologies in their projects, and what was the goal and what was the impact for the region that they're targeting, in this case, St. Louis. And then, of course, they need their GitHub link with a README file in there and a project description. We have lots of resources. This is not a complete list, but this is a list of what most most of the students have used in the past. Google Cloud. Google has been very generous to provide us credits to use their cloud. Cloudy Cluster, of course, one of our sponsors here. And then, of course, we have Python, Jupyter Notebooks, Node.js. Replit is a great environment for collaborative coding. HTML, other students have used Microsoft VS Code, also a great place to do collaborative coding as well. And then, of course, this year we're moving the conversation to Discord versus Slack. Yes, Jamie.
And I do want to throw two things out there. So the next slide is actually a new slide that Charlie doesn't know about. So I may have to take over on that slide. And if you didn't share with sound, it may throw you off there, Charlie. Actually, if you could do that, if you could stop your share and make sure you have sound while I talk about this. So for completeness, when you are doing, as far as in completeness, what we're looking for are those deliverables. It's not based on what your goals were versus where you are. Completeness means you, by the time of the presentation or whenever we say they're due, that your team has created a GitHub repository and given it to us. They have their slide presentation in that repository, a PDF of it that includes the team members' names and contact information, as well as, of course, the team mentors, and that the readme.md, the markdown file in that GitHub repository, says a little bit about the project. That's what we mean by completeness. Now, the catch is, if any of those things are missing by the time we start final presentations, the first thing I will say to after I introduce your team, I will say to the judges, for their completeness scale, there'll be an automatic 20-point deduction. So just make sure that things are there, please. And you'll see some teams you all have been a part of it where I've said, make sure your stuff's in there. Make sure your stuff's in there. So it's not that we want everyone to be successful. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. And of course, that's important because that's what your project's based on. Is, hey, how did you get here? What did you do? Let's see everything. And that's the deliverables, the repo, and the presentation and stuff that are sitting in the repository. Awesome. Thank you, Jamie.
Not a problem.
Thanks for the clarification. All right. So here's the next slide that I apparently don't know about.
There we go. So in previous years, we've always only given things to the students. This past hackathon, we did something a bit unique. As you hear, we have check-ins scheduled. Let me say that the right way. We have check-ins scheduled for every 2 times a day for every day of the hackathon, excluding the first day and the last day where there's only one. Having said that, generally speaking, by the time we get to Sunday, we want the students working, and the mentors will let us know that that's what they need to do. And so you mentors tend to get a little bit, bored. No, in all seriousness, what we do is we ensure that we added an extra level. So going back to what Charlie said, during the kickoff, we would like you to have one slide that you present in 1 minute describing your project idea. This is your elevator pitch for you to receive your student members.
Yeah.
So Al, I'm gonna mute you there if you don't. There you go. So there we go. This slide, you aren't going into the hackathon with team members. You are pitching your idea, and then team members will select. And I'm going to be honest with you, some will be selected, some won't. And that's perfect, because then those mentors that aren't selected, we team up with other mentors. So you have a mentor and co-mentor so that you all work together. So there's not a huge load on anyone. And as far as in team size, we don't allow teams larger than 5 members. We usually recommend 4. It just seems to work out. So just letting you know that. Pro tip, keep it short and show your personality when presenting. Then the video. I'm going to let the video speak for itself. Make sure you, what I'm going to say is make sure you learn your team members, maybe take some screenshots as you go. And here is a sample presentation from our own Charlie Day.
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Now, introducing the starting lineup for Team Sesame Street. From Spelman College, Master Coder, AY Ukulele. And from Morehouse College, Master Coder, Parker Broadnax. From San Jose State University, Master Coder, Andy Queen. From Maryville University, the Master of Data Science, Fez Ikramuya. And at Point, Project Lead and Master Hacker, Tina Dupleshansimo. And your coaches, Marcus Golden of Mississippi Valley State and Charlie Day of the Texas Advanced Computing Center. This is Team Sesame Street.
Yeah, so as you can see by our production quality, we do have extremely high expectations. No, but the big thing is,
Thanks for that walk down memory lane there, Jamie.
not a problem. And I'm also going to throw out there, I'm adding to the link to all team introductions to chat. If you want to check out some of the others, I highly suggest you do.
Definitely check out John Hawley's rap.
Yes,
That was
John-
awesome.
his team actually won. There is a prize associated with it, but the big thing is those team introductions, we open our viewers choice awards before the presentations so that there's plenty of time for people to vote. And oftentimes, or oftentimes being, the first time we did it, that video becomes people's way to choose which team they want to vote for. So just putting that out there.
Very awesome. Thanks. All right. So thanks for including that slide. All right. So as a mentor, this is where we're getting into the nittiness, grittiness of what being a mentor is about. Your mentoring is going to be iterative, meaning you're going to have to check in with your students throughout the 96 hours. All right. Besides just our regular hackathon check-ins, you're going to want to check in with your students. Your mentoring will be iterative. What that means is your project goal that you came up with, that Jamie loves to say is your baby is going to change. Imagine your baby like a Mr. Potato Head, all right? Eyes are going to change, the nose is going to change, how the entire potato could not be a potato anymore, as Jamie said, could become a dump truck. Your mentoring is going to be iterative, and you have to change as you go forward. You can't just say, hey, wait, students, roll back, we're working on this. Nah. Once you hand that project off to your students, they take it over and go wherever direction they feel that project should go into. So you have to be open to that.
And I also want to add to that, that means that your students have buy-in to that project. That project then stops being yours and becomes theirs. And you want that.
It's not a midterm project. It's not a final project in a class that you have expected outcomes and this is how you're going to do it. No, this thing is going to change and move, and you have to adapt to that. Your students are going to experience challenges. They will. And so will you as a mentor. The mentors, use other mentors as a guide for you, as a reference. They will help you out. The challenges your students are going to experience are going to vary, and some of them are going to come out of left field and you didn't even see it coming. So yeah, you have to be able to understand what their challenges are. You have to communicate with the students. Sometimes you have to take them aside and privately talk to them to see what the issues are, and then try and resolve whatever issues come forward. It could be anything in those issues. Just got to prepare yourself for it. And of course, you have to be a cheerleader here. Your students are going to want to solve everything in 96 hours. All right. We have a plethora of issues going on in the world right now. Pollution, population control, voting rights, climate change. They're going to want to fix whatever problem is that your project is about, climate change, and they're going to want to fix it in 96 hours. You need to tone it down a little bit, bring it in and say, hey, we can't do it in 96 hours, but you know what? We can understand. We can track data. We can do analysis work that leads up to solving something, one of the next big giant projects are going to be. So you're going to have to taper it in a little bit. All right, so what kind of challenges does a mentor going to solve? Imbalance in participation. Here's the issue, all right, and I came across this in one of my teams as well. We are all used to being in a group project back when we were in school. We're all used to being that one person who's the only person that actually did the project while everybody else chatted around and ate pizza, right? Your students are in that same boat. They are used to being the one person who gets that project done. So now you have 5 of them who all feel like that they're the ones that have to get this project done. And there's going to be an imbalance in participation because of that. Your job as a mentor is to make that imbalance go away. Raise people up when they need to, group people together, you have to, and try and get everybody coordinated on the same level so everybody has that buy-in that Jamie was talking about.
Charlie, I feel like you're talking about this one personally from what happened before, but I also want to throw out there's also the opposite. You have the quiet groups. Like you have the picture there where Rich, which is one of our veteran mentors, all of his students had the camera off, and it was difficult to get them to talk. It happens. You all understand group dynamics. It changes. And you kind of work with them and shift and adjust as you go. The big thing is to also know that you're not alone. Not just we mentors, not just we, the organizers, not just the participants, we're a family. We're not in a classroom. Even though there's a competition aspect to it, you're going to see me very much downplay that. The important thing is for us to help each other to get to the end goal. So if you have a group that you feel like you need some life brought into it, if you need to grab me, that's what I'm here for. Put me in your group. I will get them talking. I promise you. So we're here for you.
Gamify it. Gamify the process. Gamify communicating.
Mhm.
Put more icebreakers out there. Tell everybody to take a break. I think at one semester, once with a group of students, I told them, hey, go into your house, find your favorite food, and show us what you're eating for dinner tonight. Just take a picture of your food and post it. Yeah, there you go. Project direction is not viable. This one's kind of important, and this one is also kind of walking on shells a little bit. You want your students to be able to direct the project where they think it should go. But we are mentors. We have experience. Quote, we have experience. Sometimes we know that the project direction that they chose is not a viable direction. So what our job is to kind of nudge them back into a viable route. All right. How we do that is totally up to you. Okay. Students are reluctant to drive the process. Once again, communication, imbalance, participation. You want your students to be able to drive the process. So ask leading questions. Be excited about the answers that they come up with. They want to know that you are enthusiastic about whatever their idea is, and that enthusiasm is going to move forward into your students as well. And then they're going to become enthusiastic and talk more and communicate more. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Honestly, sometimes students just want the answers. we wouldn't be teachers if that's the way we taught our class, is just giving them answers. So a lot of it is let the students find the answers. You are the resource for them to be able to find those answers. And once they find an answer, honestly, it's going to help their morale, which leads us into the next bit. Morale is going to decrease over time. That is a given. They're going to have milestones. They're going to have these grand ideas that they're going to do that, hey, I'm going to solve climate change. I'm going to do this awesome 3D model, and I'm going to have this camera that floats through there and watches the storms create. They're going to realize they can't do that, and that's going to start hitting their morale. So your job is to make sure that the milestones that they hit are reachable, and you're going to have to be a cheerleader when they reach those milestones.
And please know that on our side, on the organizing side, what I do is I have mini competitions or mini games basically that I help you with that. We as mentors will meet occasionally in very brief meetings to make sure that everybody's supported. And if I hear a theme of there being a problem, I'll actually set up a competition that addresses that theme indirectly. Yeah. So for instance, you feel like your teams are just spinning in the air, not going anywhere. I'll do a competition to see who makes the most progress. And so you'll see my events work towards that.
Yeah, and I've come across issues before where I tell Jamie, hey, I'm seeing this happening, or I was talking with the other mentors and a lot of us are having this issue. Yeah, and the next thing is Jamie made a little icebreaker competition out of it. So and then of course students do not communicate. We know that. Most of us are professors or teachers or instructors, and we've seen students don't want to talk to each other. They're exhausted, they're tired. We have to make sure they do. Same thing like we did earlier today. We got everyone talking because we're talking about our favorite characters and our spirit guides, and we got that going. Okay, fundamental principles. All right, here's the thing. We're not there to judge the work. You're the mentor. Your goal is to make sure that the group has cohesiveness. That only happens if you observe the students, not the work that they're doing. All right, you're gonna have to trust the students that they know what they're capable of and that they're telling you what they're capable of. And you can see their work and see if it's happening or not, but really observe the students and see who is doing what and make sure that the balance is even. So all these issues that we have up here going on, you have to observe the students to be able to understand what that is. This one's a great one. Be present, but not omnipresent. The students want you there, but you're not there to guide the project. You're there to be a coach and be a cheerleader, right? So be present, answer questions, jump onto meetings, but don't be everywhere. Don't have them rely on you. And I love this because I will, after one of our meetings, I will jump into the team Slack. I'll talk to everybody, see how everyone's feeling, have them give me a status report. And as soon as they give me that status report, I'm like, all right, I'm done. And I leave the meeting and let them at it. Then later on, another hour or 2 hours later, I will ping each one of the team members, say, hey, how's it going? You guys mentioned this, this, and this. Are you hitting these goals? And then every one of them will give me some sort of different response. That's good, because then I'll see who's doing what and go through an iterative process, because it's an iterative process. And critical questions, not criticisms. Don't critique your students, all right? Ask them leading questions, ask them critical questions that they're trying to solve and the milestones they're trying to hit, but don't critique it on how well of a job they did or how bad of a job they did. Definitely not how bad of a job they did. Tell them, but be critical about how things are moving forward and be realistic. And obviously understand that your students come from a diverse background. So language and the type of language and the tone of your language is very important on how these critical questions get asked. All right. So this leads us to about 10 minutes to go, which is perfect. Your task now is to choose a mentor challenge. One of these challenges that a mentor has, you're going to choose. All right. As I think we have enough people to make a team, don't we? So what we want to know is, and this is your hackathon, there's the mentor hackathon going on right now. Choose what the problem is, the technique you're going to use or develop to tackle the problem, like one sentence, tell a story of ideally of how you think this problem or this this issue would play out and how your technique to solve it is going to work. And then of course, collaborate with each other, report, do some quick notes, and then present one slide on your on how your problem and how you're going to tackle it. So example technique. How do you get feedback from your students? Or do you want to do the mentor challenge now? Or yeah, we got time here. So let's do that. All right, sorry. So sample problem. How do you get feedback from your students when they might be reluctant to criticize the type of help you've given them? We do this a lot. And honestly, when I first started at TAC and first started working with Jamie, and we did our first Code at TAC student, summer student or organization, summer student school that we did, camp, that's the word, summer camp. We did this like, wish, wonder thing. I honestly thought it was lame. It's like, what the heck is this? But, oh my God, did students start communicating. So essentially what it is, students write a 1-sentence reflection on what they've learned, their learning experience, or we do it vocally then. Describe something they like, describe something they wished, and something they wondered in a relation to the experience they just had with our coding camp or with a hackathon or whatnot. Students go through, they share it, and then all the students participate. And what's interesting about it is all the students will start saying, oh yeah, I felt that way too. Or yeah, I really wish that would have happened, right? I wonder what it would have been like to do this. And it's a great ice-breaking experience at the end of it, and sometimes even emotional. So it's a great experience to have. Nobody feels like they're put on the spot. All right. Nobody feels like that they're going to answer something wrong, because this is all about what they feel. There's never anything wrong with how a student feels. All right. So we have 7 minutes now. Look at that. We have perfect timing here.
So let me be sure, because see, some of you all, I know that you're looking at other screens, you're checking email, you're doing other things, you're listening, but you're not listening, but you know what I mean. We're in Zoom land. We're real. We're family. We can talk about this. You have something to do. I need you all to look over and see you have something to do, because your team needs you.
All right. We'll mentor you as you do it, but really good luck. Yes. Choose one of these common issues when mentoring. All right. Pick one as a group, pick one, then do a 1-slide presentation in 1 minute on what you chose, how you think that narrative is going to play out, and how you're going to solve that narrative. All right. So it is now, according to my watch, 10 till 11. That gives us 7 minutes to work on this, 1 minute to present, and then 1 minute to close things out. So
let me be real. So Charlie and I are going to shut up, and you all are going to tackle this problem. Questions?
You're gonna need to pick it. You're gonna need to pick a team lead.
No. They got to figure this out. They got to figure it out on their own. This is what your students are going to feel.
Wait, you're saying all of us are on one team?
All of you all are on one team, except so Charlie and I are not on your Charlie, Amy, Dr. Hayden and I are not on a team. We are here to observe and catch you if there's any downfalls.
Okay, that's what I think we had to outline. Okay, so everybody else, y'all have to communicate together.
Yep. Everybody else who is not listed. All right, I am muting my mic.
Same here.
All right, first things first, we need to choose one of these topics. I suggest that we put what we would like to do in chat, and then we can see who has the most votes and just go with that one. I know. It's my choice.
All right, I think Jocelyn's talking, but Jocelyn, I think your mic is acting up because we can't hear you. Now we can. I heard it for a split second.
Okay, perfect. I was thinking students just wanting the answers.
Okay. Okay. So we've got Students do not communicate, imbalance of participation, and students wanting answers, as well as students reluctant to drive the process. So far, students do not communicate seems to have more votes. But
So I see in chat that Keisha is actually saying morale decreases. So make sure you check chat. And Sherry, was there something you wanted to add to that, or Dr. K?
I thought I had added students do not communicate.
does anyone else have any other suggestions?
Is there anyone who is not added to the chat?
Did you, Jimmy, did you want me to like say something more to the imbalance? Is that what you're saying?
That's up to you. We're
Yeah.
just making sure you're all moving.
Yeah,
By the way, you all have 4 minutes.
yes, pretty much talking about it's caused by different levels of knowledge, scale knowledge. That's what causes that. And I don't know, that would be something I'd like to see how others deal with.
Who can make a slide? Who can make a quick slide and just share it?
I can make one.
I was hoping you would say that. I've seen you work too many times.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stop my share, so somebody else.
Stop
can-
your share. If anyone doesn't mind, let's just go with students do not communicate because we got 3 minutes.
Okay.
Does that work?
Mhm.
And just like when we have students, we all need to make sure we have a voice and make sure that we're all vocal and communicating. I see you laughing, Jamie. Okay, if Jocelyn wants to share her screen, we're going to do students do not communicate. How do we think we can handle this issue? One of the things that I've seen before is if you do not schedule regular times to meet, they will not meet. They'll work completely in isolation.
I want to say the way I tackled that, I was giving like scheduled updates with everybody has an update to give, and then we have a meeting. So there's no way they can escape that because you gotta say something. They have to say something on the given topic.
Okay, so regularly scheduled meetings would be one point.
One of the things that I thought was good was using Slack. I never used it, but everyone's accustomed to texting, so that was a benefit. Our group chat.
Okay, so first bullet point would be regularly scheduled meetings. Second bullet point would be
Using Discord, because we're transitioning to Discord now.
John, I would recommend that with those regular scheduled meetings, that at the top of the hour or the top of the meeting, you do a mini icebreaker. Just because these students don't know each other, and giving them an opportunity to socialize, 5 minutes, ask a introductory question each time. They might find that they have more in common with their peers, that they more so than that they think.
And then the other thing that I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. He mentioned was making sure that they have to do updates.
Yeah, those meetings I'm talking about regular is update meetings, really update meetings.
So we have regularly scheduled meetings with updates presented by each student.
Yeah, the very first one, regular scheduled update meetings.
Mhm.
Who's presenting?
I don't mind presenting.
You don't mind or you don't like?
Oh, I don't mind. I don't
Okay.
mind. I like presenting. I think it's fun.
Roll with it. 30 seconds.
Oh.
All right, so we've got regularly scheduled meetings
Oops.
as well as ensuring regular scheduling meetings with, if Jocelyn, if you can continue on that line, ensuring regular scheduled meetings
oh, oops, updated. I didn't realize that I wrote that twice. And then the next one.
Well, that was it. We got it twice. So if we take off,
Okay. We are at time. We are at time, people. So I think Charlie and I are ready to hear what you and the SC21 HPC in the city St. Louis mentoring team have chosen and how you all decide to address it. So, having said that, who will be presenting for your team?
I will.
All right, so I will hand the floor over to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, you have our attention.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Salgado. So for today's challenge, is for today's challenges that we're facing as mentors, we would like to have, we've come up with a few solutions, which is one, conducting regular scheduled meetings with our students just to have them more interactive with throughout the process if they ever feel lost or not really sure what to move forward with. And then using also Discord, because we are transitioning from Slack to Discord, and having them also creating like a icebreaker with them as well on how to use Discord, because I know it's a different for some students and some mentors, they may not know how to use it, because I know personally it took me about like a month to learn how to use it. And then also just having many icebreakers with the students just to be able to socialize with them and actually build more of a connection with not only the students, but with us as mentors. And then also ensuring that we have scheduled updating meetings, not just regular meetings, but also seeing how they're feeling, how they're making progress, and just ensuring if they feel like they're going through the right direction.
Excellent. And okay, and we're actually at time for your 1 minute. Okay.
Alrighty.
Excellent job. Excellent job. Excellent job. Now, a couple
All right, let me
things.
jump back onto sharing my slides.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent job, everyone. Excellent job. See those couple feelings you're having right now, those couple things you learned? Well, watch this. Go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead and bring up the slide.
All right. Okay. Good job, everyone. Like Jamie
Excellent
said.
job.
Yeah, you picked a great issue. That's a very common issue. And you actually had some viable solutions to those. So yeah, A+ to everyone. Nicely done. So with that, do you notice, and you can kind of look at this and think, Jamie and I are psychic. No, do you notice that these are some of the steps you all did in trying to figure out what to choose and how to deal with it and who was going to do what? You got to know each other. In a very quick manner, you got to know each other just by who talked and who said what and how they communicated. You put down your purpose and your goals. You may have gamified the process, not really, okay. But you scoped it out. You talked to each other about it. Somebody took a role of, I'm going to be the lead. And then somebody else said, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hey, I'm going to be the one presenting. Hey, here's some ideas. And everybody started communicating. And you, unfortunately, not everybody has a mic today, but you adjusted to how and what people were able to do. And you asked each other critical questions to drive the process. You did all these things in under 7 minutes, and then were able to present and get your ideas in front of everybody else. That is absolutely awesome. That's
and I will also say that you all had a bonus. That bonus of having a veteran person there.
Or a couple
they
veterans.
knew what to expect. Yeah, a couple veterans. John, so usually the way this happens is everybody, Edgar, I think you were there for one of our first mentor trainings. Oh, John was too. Yeah. We were like, all right, and go. Crickets.
I remember that. It's like, this is not a good idea. This isn't working.
Because everybody's Jamie, like, who's going to talk first? You going to talk first? Who's going to talk first?
And then Jamie and I had to go, hey, let's do a quick icebreaker. And then, yeah, everyone got moving. Happened at our last hackathon as well.
Yeah. And it will happen with your team.
All right. So we are a little bit over time, but 1 quick minute. Let's go through, Jamie, let's pick some people to go through and do a quick like, wish, wonder.
Excellent.
And we'll give some thumbs up and whatnot over Zoom.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to put on my suit my Like Wish Wonder suit. Give me 1 second here. Let me go ahead and grab that again. Thank you. If you must leave, I understand everybody's time is valuable, but I just want to take you through this exercise. I'm killing time as I'm putting on my suit so that you can get used to it. So what I usually do is I change the tone.
I actually thought, Jamie, you honestly had a shirt that had like a little
No, we're
superhero
virtual.
emblem that had the Like Wish Wonder.
No,
Go!
we're virtual. I don't have to do that, but I can do that. Usually I put on some soft music behind and I look at everybody. I look you dead in your eye and I go, it is now time for our Like, Wish, and Wonder. Now, today, what I want you to do is take a moment and think about everything that we have accomplished in the past hour. Everything from learning about the hackathon, learning about each other's, our spirit animals. We have learned about different techniques and things from Charlie, what our students are going to be. And we've even participated in a little mini hack so we can see what our students will experience in the end. And out of all of those things, what I'd like each one of you to do, if you don't mind, is to think of one thing. We're not going to do Like, Wish, and Wonder, but we're just going to do one like. We're going to do one like to hear what you all got from this training session. And if there's something that you agree with, what I want you to do, because we're virtual, I want you to look up on your screen and give us some snaps or give us some feedback down in the bottom. Give us some hands letting us know that you agree with us. So having said that, I'm going to pick the first person to go. And the first person I am going to pick will be my good buddy, fellow lecturer, co-worker, and all around amazing person, Charlie.
Ah, honestly thought you were okay. Thank you. One like, I love, actually, this is a love. I love seeing you all again. I don't think we see each other enough. And all the new guys, I am so looking forward to seeing you all and getting to know you all throughout the rest of this process. So yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
So Charlie, who do you want to go next?
All right. Hey, let's go to John Hawley.
Gee, what a shock. One thing I love is that I meet so many people across different areas, and then I form these bonds with people. And then from then on, whenever I see their name anywhere, I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. So I really love that about the project.
All right, John, and who do you want to pick next?
Edgar.
Hey, John, former partner in crime. I liked that you took the lead in the previous activity. And I will go with Mr. Alfred.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I apologize. There
There we
is another meeting going on in City Hall West here, but that's okay. I just wanted to say you guys worked great as a team, even though we were just meeting each other in the 5 minutes that we did get our list together. I was saddened that my little comment didn't make it from the chat to the PowerPoint, but I'll live to fight another day.
Excellent. And who do you want to go with there, Al? All right, he's looking, and you want me to pick for you? Oh,
Who's the phone number?
the phone number. So our phone person. Let me see. Are you able to take care of?
That's our friend Virginia. Also co-worker.
Yes.
Fellow professor, fellow instructor.
An amazing person.
And amazing person.
Yes. So thank you for coming. And so then I'm going to pick for Virginia. And I know that Virginia wants to hear from Dr. Hayden.
Hi, Virginia. You guys did a great job of getting it all together so quick, I tell you. Okay, specific comment I need to make is on what, Jamie? And I'm
just one thing that you like, Dr. Hayden.
One thing that I like. I liked it all. But the one thing that I liked Al's comments. I know I'm pushing, and I'm gonna just give him
Excellent. And Doc, who would you like to go next?
Who would I like to go next? Okay, let's see. Janetti, because you always pick on her.
I sure do.
I'm gonna take that off of you and just pick on her myself. Haven't called your name in a long time like that.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I came in so late. I'm teaching Access, that's why. So self-explanatory. But the bits that I did pick up, what I really liked is just the simple fact that even though it has been some months since the last hackathon and everything, just to see everybody together and still wanting to collaborate, wanting to exchange information, and wanting the best for not only each other, but the students. I really like that. So.
Excellent. And so who do you want to call on, Janetti? Of course.
Did she say me?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So one thing that I loved was being able to see everybody again, even if it's just virtual. I miss you guys so much. And then one thing that I wish that we can all be together so we can just, I don't know, just catch up and then just create amazing projects with our students and just continue to inspire one another. And I wonder how long it's going to be till then, but I'm still so grateful. Thank you.
Not a problem. Now I want to add one in from Virginia, coming from the land of telephone. Virginia said, "This is really good." Wait, let me change my voice. This is really good. I like Charles' point of critical questions, not criticism. Charlie's, not Charles. Sorry about that. Charlie's point about critical questions, not criticisms, because it's been a long time since I've taught, and this is a good mantra. So excellent job. And so up next, I actually want to call on Sherry.
I'll go really quick in case the noise starts up again. So I'd like just to thank everybody for letting me join this group. It's a very excellent group, and I'm very excited to get started here. So thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. K. Dr. K.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see you again.
Hey, hi.
I promised to be back, and I am. Now, the thing is, this time I got to start with everybody on the start line. Last time I was a little behind, and but we still pulled it off. So we will be a threat. Okay, good to see Amy Cannon. You know why? Everybody know why.
Why? Yes.
Good to see y'all.
So having said that, I believe Amy Cannon, you have just been called out. So what is your like?
I love being on the call with everybody, and this has so made my week. Like, I so enjoy all of you. My like was seeing everybody come together and all of you instantly jumping in and getting your tasks done so quick. Like, I so enjoyed reading the chat and all of you just saying, okay, let's do this. It's wonderful. Teamwork. We have a good group of people. It's dream work, exactly.
So having said that, that brings it back to me. I like the fact that you all took time out of your busy schedules and showed up and are going on this wonderful journey with us. And I look forward to see what your teams come up with. So having said that, for our questions and concerns slide, I just want to point out that next week we have 2 training sessions. One of them is in partnership with the data science competition that's a part of the SC. It's actually their first year, and they are actually doing a session on how to design a data project. And they're actually going to have a panel of data analysts available for everyone. And of course, I'll be sending that information to you in the mail. And then the actual HPC in the City St. Louis training next week will be on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, but this time we're inviting all of our participants, including you all, to go over GitHub basics, So to make sure that everyone can actually create a repository and upload information, just generalized, not the command line for those of you that are like, I know how to do that. No, this is for students that have never used it before, to make sure they can turn in that deliverable, as well as Discord, because as Jocelyn said, there's a little bit of a learning curve. And so we want to make sure that people at least know the basics so they won't have any issues communicating with each other during the event. Again, I want to thank Charlie Day and thank you all for coming. And with that,
We need a group photo.
not a problem. I've actually been snapping them, but for those of you that if you have your camera and you feel comfortable, please turn on your camera. We do want to take a quick group photo as our first event for this year. And let me go ahead and, all right, everybody. Now remember, here's the trick. Here's the trick. You got to look into the camera. Don't look at yourself. You got to look at the camera. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Let's do one more just in case, because you know somebody had it off. Somebody had it off. All right. You ready? Look into your cameras deeply and think lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
There we go. All right. So thank you everyone for joining. And with that, I'm going to stop the recording.
Thank you.
Not
Thanks,
a
everyone.
problem. Not a problem at all.
See you next time.
Yep. See you next time. Appreciate everyone's attention. See you all next time.
Yeah.
Yay,
seeing
we
you
get to do this
guys.
all again.